How did I land here in this, to me, really awesome, but kind of gritty, rough around the edges Trainingsbox? I'm a professor. I'm a professor of game design. I work at Uppsala University. I did most of my career in the US. I was a postdoc at MIT in Cambridge, Massachusetts. I did 8 years of first assistant professorship, tenure track at DePaul University, and then got promoted to associate professor, and then I came here, and then I got promoted to docent because they didn't recognize the system from the US, and then I got promoted to professor. And now I coach. And that's what I feel I should be doing with my life. Because when you are in academia, also in many other places, of course, in this Western modern world of ours, we think of our bodies as brain taxis. They get us places, and they better don't break down, because then we can't do the things we want to do. But we rarely think about our bodies as who we are in our entirety. But that is what we are. We are our bodies. We don't really exist beyond them. And this disconnect that seems to me extremely pervasive in our society and culture, that we don't, it's almost dirty to think about us being our bodies. There has to be something more noble than that. It's very, very problematic, because if we don't connect deeply with our physical being, then it's also really difficult, if not impossible, to have compassion and empathy, because that is rooted in our physically felt sense of aliveness. If I don't think anything can hurt me, if I'm not aware of my physical presence in the world, then it's also hard to imagine my actions can hurt somebody else. There is a much longer discussion there, I'm sure. The point being, I got into somatics and somatic transformative coaching because when I got exposed to it for the first time, it really opened something up for me that changed everything for me, how I see my profession, how I see my purpose. And I want to bring that to everybody who is open to the idea and would like to learn more about how to connect more deeply with their bodies. But I also happen to really like working out and strength train, and I've been doing CrossFit for many years. I'm not terribly great at any of these things. I've never competed. I don't care about competition. I like to move. I like to feel strong. And so when I coach strength training and functional training, then I do it mostly through a somatic lens of how can this kind of training support a person in their entirety, in their wholeness. Because the patterns that we carry around in our bodies that have been shaped through our experiences over a lifetime, they manifest in everything that we do, and they also determine what is possible for us and what is really, really difficult for us to set into motion or to make real. So I don't think about, we just need to develop more quads or hamstrings or overall strength or endurance or conditioning or whatever it is. I think about how can this training that we do today, if we squat or bench or deadlift or kettlebell swing or row or run or whatever, how is that in service of allowing energy to move through the body in a more holistic way how is it a practice to prepare us for the things that we want to achieve in our lives in general. And that's what informs how I write a program for people, how I give cues, how I consistently make the connection between, I see that when things get really hard, you tend to rush. Where else in your life do you notice that? And what might become possible if you can be more in the here and now and linger through that discomfort and not just want to get it over with? What might become possible when we practice that? And if people feel that, this has been a limitation, that tendency to rush and get through it quickly, then we can build that into our practice. Then we start doing deadlifts with pauses. You lift off the ground, you pause at the ankle, you pause again at the knee, and then you pause once more above the knee, then you stand up. And it's incredibly hard when there is this tendency to just rush to really do that, because it's a whole new requirement for the somatic shape, something that hasn't been practiced. And it shifts something over time, of course. It shifts something in the entire energy system in the body. And suddenly, so I have been told, people don't resort to their habitual reactions under pressure. They have now practiced to pause. And in the pause, we become able to respond in a way that's aligned with what we actually care about and who we want to be, rather than do a knee-jerk reaction from habit. And that promotes an intentional way of going through life that opens many new doors. And I think there is some real magic in that. And that's why I am so incredibly excited about working with people and bringing a somatic lens to strength training and functional training. And if you ever want to check it out and learn more, then drop me a line. Have a great day.